How are you today?
I'm great.
Well, that's good. So, what did you do this week? How was your week? Was it fun? Did you do anything interesting?
And I just went to school.
Okay, well, what was nice about school this week?
I get to play with my friends. Well, friend. Not sure.
Okay, well, what kind of things? Oh, it happens. Are you doing anything fun this weekend?
Nope.
No, I have a race tomorrow. Another one, but it's another trail. What happened to my number? Here it is. So another, but it's a trail run. So it means I'm running up a mountain. Running up a mountain. It'll be fun. Well, we're going to talk about animals today and their habitats and how humans and animals live together. All right, so which animals live there? So let's look at, I know you already know all the animals. So which animals, we'll pick the first one. Which animals live in the desert?
Coyotes and foxes.
All right, good. All right. And what about the tundra?
Polar bears.
All right, good. And hold on 1 second. Polar bears. All right. And which animal lives in the ocean?
Turtles.
Yes, very, very good. All right. So let's go ahead. Now, which of these places do you have near where you live? Which of these places do you have near where you live?
I have a tiny pond, but we rarely see frogs. And plus, we don't really see frogs. We only see toads.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between a frog and a toad?
Yeah.
I feel like you do. Yeah. Can you tell me what's the difference between a frog and a toad?
So a toad is like fat and bumpy, and a frog is not as fat and not as bumpy.
Good. Also, frogs have longer back legs than toads tend to have. Toads can't hop as high as frogs. But very good. Very good. There's other things too, but okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead. And it's not. There we go. All right. So look at this part. Which word has the same meaning as where animals live? Ivanka, which one has the same meaning?
Habitats.
Yes. How do we spell that? Good. Very, very good. All right. We're going to talk about this later in the lesson as well. But what habitat do you think humans live in? Or habitats? What habitats do you think we need to live?
We need a city to live in, or we need some place with shelter to live in.
Okay, so maybe not necessarily a city, but we need a place where we can get food, and water, and clean air.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think humans can live in lots of different habitats? Do you think we can live in the forest, the desert, pond, tundra, and ocean?
Then no.
If we wanted to.
And then we can live in forests. We can live in forests, but you can't live in those cartoon jungle forests because those have a lot of like tigers and wolves and stuff. Like maybe you can live like in the forest around the main forest. Like there are only deers and some eagles, but not too many predators.
Okay. Do you think we can live in deserts?
Oh, well, some people can.
Yeah, we absolutely can. They're nomads who've been living in deserts for hundreds, if not thousands of years. All right, what about the tundra? I know we can live near a pond. What about the tundra? Do you think anybody lives where it's very cold?
Yes, but I have only seen that kind of people live there. So normal people, I did not see them live there.
Okay. No, the thing that's amazing about humans is we can adapt our habitat or ourselves to fit our habitat. So we're able to live all over. We can live in a forest, we can live in a desert, we can live in the cold tundra, we can build a boat or an underwater center to live in the ocean. We're able to adapt ourselves, and animals cannot. All right, so habitat means a place where an organism can live, including the animals. So how many types of habitats are defined in general? So how many do you see?
Like there, what? I think
All right,
there are 4. Like frogs, amphibians. Like frogs.
Well, no, the habitat is where they live, not the animal, but the type of habitat where animals can live.
There's also
not the
4. Wait, no, there's 5.
Well, there's 2 main types of habitats, land and water. And then within those, we have desert, tundra, forest, ocean, pond. All right, very good. Now, we use type as a unit. I'm going to just erase that for a second, sorry. As a unit to measure the number. So what unit can we use to classify the animal? How do you think we can classify the animals?
With mammals and amphibians and stuff. And you can also like use like what they look like, but like maybe have 4 legs. Polar bears, foxes, deer, frog, a coyote, and with no legs, petals or fins is a turtle.
Okay.
Is a turtle.
Okay. Well, look at this animal classification system. All right, so we have domain, we have kingdom. All right, so what do you think? So let's look at that. What do you think the domain is?
The domain is like a place where there is like it's kind of like somewhere with, I think it's like somewhere that looks kind of like a plane but has more bumpy floors.
Okay. All right, well, look at this chart. What do you think this chart does?
This chart does like to put the animals in the different categories. Yeah. And by the way, what does this mean?
Which one?
This one.
Phylum. Oh, we're going to go through that. So briefly, it's not really part of the lesson. So domain is whether or not we are a complex-celled organism or not. All right, so all animals are in this are eukarya or eukaryotes, and they all means that we're all complex cells. Then the kingdom is Animalia. So again, for us, so the kingdom is what kind of complex celled organism? Plant, animal, fungus. So what kind of? Then we get into the phylum. Can you guess? What do you think it means?
It means like how many types, maybe. Oh wait, no, this is species.
Kind of. So phylum is when we have complex celled organisms, non-complex celled organisms for the first one. Then we have the second one, our kingdom, Animalia, so whether we're animals or plants, or whether we have brain functions. Phylum is kind of like whether or not it's has a vertebrae or doesn't have a vertebrae, whether it has so some examples like arthropods are spiders. That's an example of a phylum. So a spider that's further down, but spiders in general would be part of the arthropoda. So it's like spiders, insects, some crustaceans could all be part of that phylum. So it goes from big, clearly, to smaller, smaller, smaller. All right. So, for example, a phylum could be all vertebrates. So, for example, Chordata for phylum are all vertebrates. So that includes all fish that have vertebrae. It includes us, most animals. Then we get down to the class. All right. So it goes cell, organized cell or single-celled organism, complex cell. Kingdom, whether they're a plant or an animal. Phylum, whether it has a vertebrae, doesn't have a vertebrae, whether it's in the jellyfish area, and then you go into the class within those. All right, we're not really going too much into it in this lesson.
Just a moment.
But it's really interesting, actually. What we can do is at the end, we can go through one animal and talk about what the animal is defined as in terms of domains. Remind me at the end, and we'll go. What animal do you want to do? You can pick any animal.
It should be wildlife animals, right?
It could be. It could be an animalia. So we already know that the domain we're going to be in for us. So the kingdom will be Animalia. So what kind of animal would you like to do? Let's think. Would you like a vertebrate animal, a non-vertebrate animal? A blob, like a jellyfish? Fox? Snake?
How about an axolotl?
Ooh, that's a good one. My daughter was asking about that the other day because they're in our McDonald's Happy Meals right now. They have the axolotl. All right, so we'll do that at the end. Yeah, it is. They have little toys. It's cute. But they don't get McDonald's a lot, so she was very excited. All right, so we've already talked about what habitat humans live in. How is that alike and different to the habitat that animals live in?
So animals, there should be less people, at least minus 50% of this. and then there should be more trees. And
Good.
there
All right.
shouldn't be buildings because like they don't know how to make things. They only know, well, chimpanzees can make sticks, but that's on another topic.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good. I think that humans can, though, as we mentioned before, they can adapt and they can be lots of different things. So, what unit can we use to measure the number of humans? How do you think we could talk about that in a scientific sense? It starts with a P. When someone asks you how many people live in your city, you say the
percent
close population.
of population.
Yeah. All right. So population of humans and animals. Aww. So we can see this. What does this chart show you? What do you notice about this chart?
So human pollution is purple. I don't know why it's heart because pollution is supposed to be bad, and animal extinction.
Well, it's population, not pollution. Population. So it's the amount. Of, it's still not great.
Still don't think it should be such.
Yeah, I still don't think it should be a heart. I agree with you. I still don't think it should be a heart.
Animal extinctions, and I know a couple of animals that went extinct. First saber-tooth, second Smilodon. Wait, I think they might be the same. I don't care. Mammoths, terror birds, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Anchiornis. Let me think. Triceratops. And I think there's also like the dodo bird, and I think there was a type of parrot that went extinct when people were alive. Like when people were already exist. But I think there's also like a type of chicken, but many people from the past killed them, and they just died. Like it was probably like in the 90s or similar to that, but not in the 20s.
Yeah. So you mentioned different animals. You mentioned animals that went extinct way before humans existed, like Tyrannosaurus Rex. We did not live together with the T-Rex. But I think this chart really tells us what's happened in just the last couple hundred years. How many species have gone extinct with the rise of humans. So yeah, it's really sad, actually. They've highlighted this. So we're gonna talk about that. Why do wild animals invade human habitats more and more frequently?
Because first humans might let them in. Second, they found out like, hey, what a surprising news! This place is pretty comfortable. So they just go in, and sometimes they might just wander in accidentally, or it's because they think it's not fair that humans can have more cities and stuff, and they can't, so they just walk in. But this is definitely a fox in a zoo, so that guy's supposed to be there, and don't know why. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. It might be in the backyard. And this deer is that in a subway station?
It looks like a. So who do you think are the real invaders? That's the question here. Who do you think are the real invaders?
I think the deer is the real invader because the fox, like foxes can exist.
I think they're meaning that that humans are the real invaders. Like, we're taking up their space. You know what? One beautiful thing that happened during the pandemic, when we all COVID, and we all had to wear masks and stay inside, is the animal population grew. The animals did a lot better when we all stayed inside. So that's what I think they're going. So there's causes of wildlife decline globally. What's the biggest cause? What's the major threat to population of animals?
The major threat is habitat
Degradation
and loss.
Yeah. So there's two big ones. This one I think we shouldn't even have. Like, we can farm everything. We don't need to hunt. And fish, to the extent where we wipe out populations of fish, right? I don't think we need to do that anymore. That's purely for the joy of it, which is weird to me. I always find it really weird, Ivanka, when people want to go hunt like lions in Africa on a reserve. Like, why? I don't understand it. All right, now, what do you think we can do to keep the balance between humans and wildlife animals? What changes do you think we could make?
We should plant more trees. Is the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else could we do?
And we could also, okay, I said this before. I actually, talked about this with my mom. We can actually take out our house for more places for the animals. But then my mom said, if the other people's house, the other houses can get removed, then we can get removed. And if our houses get removed, what do we do? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So there's an idea of eco-planning and having houses that are more like nature. Also, the idea that, more humans live in cities and not as many live in the countryside, so that it leaves more wildlife area instead of, people having houses and expanding, having more cities with larger apartment buildings, so people live like this, but then they visit the outside. There's a lot of ideas. I personally, I want to be completely self-sustainable on my own. We're building a house, Ivanka, and we're doing completely renewable energy and our own water. So we're trying to be that, but probably not as great for the environment, to be honest. All right, so define and explain how people affect wildlife. So how do people affect wildlife? We're gonna think about the problem, explain the examples, and afford some solutions. So go ahead. Let's read this, and then we'll talk about these 1, 2, and 3. All right. So
people invade or take over the habitat. The homes for wildlife disappear. Oh, and by the way, that's also why that extinct parrot that I mentioned and the chicken died, because the humans took over. They think the chickens are pests. They killed a lot of them, and they think they're pretty. Made them they think they are pretty thing is the parrots. They think that extinct parrot species is really good, and many people ordered to kill them and wear them. The chicken is just, people think they're pests, so they just kill a lot of them. So they just pretty much take over. They just pretty much take over a lot of things. If they didn't come here, actually, the chickens wouldn't die. But I guess Yeah, maybe the humans can change or something. Oh, and by the way, I'm not saying humans are bad, just saying they kind of took over a habitat. Homes for wildlife disappear. The population of this place has always been animals. Where will they go now? Each animal species or
Special group
needs a place to live and find food. Without the right habitat, animals are threatened. Their lives are in danger.
Good.
The problem is humans took over. This happened because humans took over, obviously. I think this is important because many animals might go extinct and we don't have food. I know food is hunting down animals, but it's a thing. If people that really don't care about animals and just want to live for themselves, they would probably worry about the animals getting extinct and they don't have protein to eat, so they're gonna become herbivores. So yeah, that's why it's important to everyone, probably, with different reasons.
These remind me of the panda. Because the panda used to be carnivore, or at least an omnivore, but now it eats bamboo because what's available to it. So animals can change. You just remind me of that. All right, let's continue. So how are animals threatened when people move into their habitat? So look at our keywords, and you don't have to type it because you don't have a keyboard. Don't do that because it'll take way too long to write out on a pad. Just tell me in your own words and try to use the words habitat, invade species, and threatened. All right. So how?
Many people have taken over the animals' habitats.
Good.
But humans, they don't know. Well, some of them don't know. Animals, on the other hand, think this is not fair, so they invade the humans' environments and wants to check it out. But before, they didn't know that some of their same species might have gone extinct. Like, for example, do lovebirds know that those kind of parrots I have been talking about like 1,000 times this class gone extinct?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, did the ostrich know that dodos got extinct? Nope. Very obviously, nope. And some people think they are being naughty, but the truth is that the animals feel like they're threatened. Like, look at this guy, just attacking the vehicle.
Yeah, so they feel threatened, and you're right. And sometimes the elephants can get quite angry, and they've killed people because they get very stressed. Very intelligent animals. All right, very good answer. All right, so we have another solution. I was reviewing this lesson ahead of time, and to prepare myself, especially for the noises. I wish they would just delete the noises. I don't need the noises. They're always so loud. My headset. All right, so we have an armadillo, the highway, and a road sign. So what is the problem? Let's listen to the first audio.
Highways are dangerous for wild animals.
All right, so what's the problem?
Highways are dangerous for wild animals.
Yeah, but he says that highways are dangerous for wild animals. He's very excited about it. It's almost like he's a little happy for it, right? Highways are dangerous. All right, so what's the problem? That highways are dangerous, right? Let's listen to number 2.
Let's take armadillos as an example. Highways often pass through areas where armadillos live. This creates a dangerous situation. When armadillos cross the road, many are hit and killed by cars.
All right, so what's the example that we've used for this page?
For example, a armadillo. Armadillos always cross the highways, and cars go really fast. They hurt and kill and turn armadillos into armadillo pancakes.
Yeah, I once hit an armadillo. I felt so bad about it.
Oh
It was in the middle of the night, the lights on the street. I was taking a friend home. I cried. All right, and how do we find a solution?
People want to solve this problem. They post signs along the road. Now drivers know to look out for animals crossing the road.
All right, so what's the solution?
Humans put a sign, and now drivers know that you should not go too fast on the highways because armadillos cross this place.
Yeah, they're not going to do that, though.
And I feel
So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and I feel like the people, whoever this guy I think this guy was kind of sad because it kind of felt like his voice was a little deeper. So I don't know why. I don't really know why he has sudden emotional changes.
I don't know. It's a voice actor. One of my very best friend is a voice actor. And so she does all these different voices, and she's the voice of Apple, actually, like the Apple Music. She's their official voice, but she has lots. She can change her voice and make it excited, all these different things. It's amazing, actually. All right, so we have our thinking map. We're gonna do another story with a problem and solution. So too busy to study. So go ahead.
Many students say the same thing. It is not the schoolwork or the amount of schoolwork. It's that students are too busy with sports or the arts to find time to study. Totally opposite if the students were me. Students have a very full day. The average day begins at sunrise. It ends late at night. Many have after-school activities and 2 hours of homework. Many schools give only 20 minutes for lunch. Some give even less time for recess. Students need more time to study. They need more time to relax. One solution is for parents to limit their children's activities. Another solution is to make the school day longer to give more free time. This would give more time for homework. A third solution is to limit the amount of homework. So you have to get enough. So the whole purpose of this paragraph is that the kids, they don't get enough time, they don't get enough homework time and playtime, which is exactly the same scenario as me, and I usually don't get enough playtime because I'm too slow at homework. Yeah, I suck at homework.
I have one student who loves homework. Only one, by the way. And she's always talking about how she asks for more homework. And I'm like, please don't. No one else likes a lot of homework. Sometimes it can be fun, though. All right, so what's our problem in this article? That students are too busy.
As students are too busy with sports or the arts to find time to study.
Good. And what examples are there in the article?
Many have after-school activities. Many have 2 hours of homework. Many have 20 minutes for lunch and even less time for recess. Oh, and by the way, just to mention something, I think our school gets approximately, like, a little bit more than 5 minutes of recess because, like, every time, like, when one of the teachers, like, take us out, it's like, we have to go there early. We have to leave early. And there's 15 minutes in total for us to recess. So if we go early, well, we don't actually, we don't actually go early because, we did go a little early, but not too early. It's just kind of weird, so that's -5, and then we go early, -5 minutes of playtime, so we actually just have 5 minutes or more, but probably not more than 11, so.
Oh, well, what solutions did they suggest in the article, and what do you think?
They suggest parents should limit the children's activities. The school day should no longer
Should be longer.
Should
be
be longer to give more free time. The amount of homework should be limited. I am okay with this one, and
I don't
not
understand
okay with
the
this
school.
one.
I don't actually understand that school day should be longer to give more free time, because if the school day is longer, you are taking away potential free time. It's not a very good solution. I understand like longer to add more recess, but recess and play is an important part of childhood development. You guys need to have activities. And my mom she's a teacher and she had a degree in early childhood development. And one rule in my household growing up is we had to have one activity that was physical and one instrument. My mom, we didn't have a choice not to. We didn't have to play well. We didn't have to, do a sport well, but we had to do it. And it was non-negotiable. Meaning we didn't, you had to pick an instrument. She was a music teacher as well, so. All right, so problems in my neighborhood. Think of a problem in your neighborhood and tell me about it. So what do you think is a problem in your neighborhood?
I did this 1,000 times on other classes like this. Smoking.
Yeah, I feel like you did. I feel like we've had this one. All right, so go ahead. Smoking. People smoke?
Yeah,
people still smoke?
Yeah, they do.
So that's the thing. No one smokes in Paraguay. No one. Like, it's just not a thing here. Yeah, I haven't seen. I think I've seen like one person smoking in 5 years here. People just don't do it. All right. So, what do you think? What examples can you think of, and what is solution?
Let me think. I was holding catch up. I think one of the reasons I gave on the other class is like, cigarette mouths or heads can
butts. We call them the butts, like the end when people don't.
Cigarette butts give a
yeah. My dad was a 2-pack a day smoker. I've seen it before.
So cigarette butts or butts. I'm not like.
Well, it's one cigarette butt, and it's one cigarette butt or cigarette butts. Like it's a regular plural. We just add S.
So like many cigarette butts give a lot pollute a lot. Like they pollute more than just like an empty can of beans. And some seagulls will even mistake cigarettes as food. And cigarettes can kill, according to something, I think it was WHY, or something. I'm not sure, but I just know that the short name is like really weird. Like it's like a type of actual like word, like why or what. But
Okay.
yeah, whatever.
Okay.
So they said that found out that more than a lot of zeros, like cigarettes can kill more than 4 dot. Oh, or it's just that many zeros.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't remember the precise number of zeros.
I'm sorry.
Like.
Sorry, this is really annoying. Hold on. Let me see. We're just gonna go to the next page.
Okay.
All right. So 4 zeros. Yeah.
So like a lot of zeros. I can't really remember. People in the whole worldwide globe. So shame on people who are smoking right now, or maybe none of them are smoking.
Yeah. No, it's oddly it's a lot has to do with poverty. Actually, a lot more countries, like there's a lot of studies in terms of tobacco companies going to poorer countries and getting people addicted because they know that they don't have a lot of other options to be healthy. It's actually expensive to be healthy. There's a lot on that. But anyways, we have our story today, a pre-reading. So why do you think these animals move from Asia to North America?
So that they can move to a place that has a better place, like a better environment for them. Like maybe Asia gets hot and the mammoths can't stand, so they go to North America to get more wind.
Yeah, changing climate, right? All right, so this is a pre-reading, so we're not really reading the article yet. So how could people change the ecosystem? So what do you think has happened in the past where people have changed our environment and changed our ecosystem?
They like used a lot of trees to make houses and
look at
and they also
what's in the
I think it's that kind of chicken I was mentioning.
Yeah, but think about ships and moving across the world. What can they do to animals maybe that don't live in one place and they bring them to another?
Oh, so it's like there's a person, he's really happy, he goes on a boat with his pet rabbit, and then suddenly when he
a rabbit that's not indigenous to an area, and then it takes the rabbit there, and then what could happen?
Well, he just takes the rabbit there to take it for a walk, and then he finds out, wait, where's my rabbit? My rabbit was on the ship 2 minutes ago. And then when the boat already started, he found out that the rabbit was left on the jungle, and the rabbit just rabbit actually gave birth and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, well, we can see that, like what's happened in Australia is a certain type of rabbit that carried an invader to Australia, something that wasn't indigenous to the area, and they caused a lot of problems for the local wildlife. All right, now what about these? We have starlings and Africanized bees. we call them alien invaders. So what have you ever heard? Let's just pick one. The Africanized bees. Have you heard about the Africanized bees before?
No, but I certainly know wasps, and those bees look like
Okay.
bumblebees.
Well, the Africanized bees were bees that are generally more aggressive, and they were carried through human contact into humans' faults to have offspring to Brazil. And they mated and became a super dangerous invasive species because of that. So two species that weren't meant to have offspring created a very dangerous type of killer bee because the Africanized bees are very aggressive, and when paired with the Brazilian bees became super aggressive. All right, so we have our cargo ship. Now, this is another part. So we're going to read all of this in the next one. So they have also another invasive species called the zebra mussels.
Wow.
So what do you see in this picture? Yeah, they're not good for local wildlife either.
So I see a boat with a tank of water with dots in it.
Yep.
And then this one, I think the arrows mean the water is escaping. And the dots are also escaping. And I think the dots might be one, bubbles, like oxygen in the water. Two, one, bubbles. Two, it might be a new species.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, the ballast, so this water is used to keep large ships stable. So you can add and get rid of water depending on the needs of the ship and where it's going and how many waves. So it's the ballast. It's an important part for larger ships to have to keep them from tipping and going back and forth. All right. Now we have kudzu vines. So what do you think has happened with the kudzu vines? Where did they come from?
Kudzu vines came from somewhere related to Japan. Actually, I mean Japan, because like the name just sounds like a Japanese name.
Japanese.
Yeah, it's extremely similar to Shiba Inu. Like what are they up to? Like they always have weird names for very, very, very not supposed to have that name things, but the kudzu really just kind of fits. The Shiba Inu just,
Okay.
I mean, it can be a name, but it's just a little weird.
So it is. So plants like the kudzu, it might have natural inhibitors in Japan where it doesn't grow without limits. But then we bring it to the U.S. and the climate might be very conducive for the plant, and then they grow uncontrollably. So we're going to think about that, and then we're going to think about the solution. So today, ships, cars, and trains can quickly and easily introduce alien species into an ecosystem. So it's something that, we need to be very careful with. So what do you think could be some solutions before we read in the next one?
Well, there's one solution. We can stop making aliens. There's another solution. We can make better things that do not make aliens. And
aliens aren't. We're aliens from Earth. Aliens doesn't mean aliens from outer space. Alien just means that it's not something that's usually there. All right. So we also have illegal aliens. Aliens like immigrants can sometimes be called aliens. All right. Well, this is what healthy ecosystems need. And we're going to talk about alien invaders. That's not what I want to do. In the next one, I wanted to go over the animal, the genus. All right. So we'll talk about that. And there we go. I want to get to the last page. Okay. So we have our axolotl. So we have, what kingdom do you think it is? I'm going to go to page 5, actually.
I think its kingdom is an animal. Not
Yeah,
plant.
so Animalia. Good. And the phylum.
It does it have bones? I think
The
it
phylum,
has bones. Wait.
it's Chordata. So the Chordata are, they have distinctive characteristics. They don't necessarily have to have, they just have to, they don't necessarily have to have a vertebrae yet. All right. So we have, there are three main ones. So there's the vertebrates, the cartilage. So a shark is still considered this, even though it doesn't have bones, for example, it doesn't have exact. So we have the chordates. Now, what do you think is the class? It is amphibia.
Oh yeah.
Which I know you know that one. Now the order is a word you probably haven't heard of because I'm not even familiar with these. The Urodela. It's been a long time since I did that. So Urodela is a group of amphibians that look like lizards. So for example, they've got slender bodies, short limbs, they have a tail, and then we get into, so it's like the lizard family, the order, and then we get further with the here, I can't read it now, the Ambystomatidae. This is a family of salamanders. All right, so this is the salamander family. And then we have the genus or genus, we can say both, or this one, so the genus or genus, and it is the Ambystoma. And then finally, the scientific name for the species is the A. mexicanum, or the here, I'll put the full name. There one. All right, so it's the Ambystoma mexicanum is the final species name. So that's that. So there's a lot of information with that one. All right. Well, anyways, Ivanka, you did a wonderful job today. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll read the story and go a little more into it next time. All right.
Okay. See you.
All right. Bye, Ivanka. Thank you.